Hey guys, third try is a charm, I hope. Hi, this is Sheri Richardson from Exotic Gardening, Experimental Homesteader, SheriAnnRicherson.com and biannualblogathonbash.com. And let's see if we can get through the vlog now without being interrupted. My daughter just called and I said I was in the middle of the vlog if this isn't really important, and she said, I'm your daughter, of course it's important. And yes, it was important, but not interrupt me important. That sounds awful. Anyway, I'm going to call her back. This is part of the problem with me doing the vlog. About the time that I get into it, my phone rings, someone comes to the door, there's some kind of interruption, and it frustrates me really badly. And yes, I know I could just pick up where I left off and splice it all together, but that's a bit of a pain. Some of you know what I mean. And, so anyway, Jeff has no idea what time he's going to get off tonight. He said probably more than 12 and a half hours worth of work. His half-hour lunch is not paid. I guess people piddled around and did not do their job yesterday and then decided to take today off work. Surprise, surprise, surprise. It kind of makes me wonder if they're getting partial unemployment or something, because an awful lot of people in his department take an awful lot of time off work. And when he tries to get time off work, many, many times it's denied or not approved until the day that he's actually off work. So he doesn't know if he's getting paid to be off or if he's getting pointed when he's off, which is totally unfair. I really wish he would go find a different job because I'm so unimpressed with the place he works. They don't pay good. They have ads out hiring new employees for $21 to $23 an hour. But people that have been there 20 years are barely making a little over $16 an hour. Just so unfair. Totally unfair. You should take care of your employees that have been there and been with you before you worry about the new hires. The other thing I'm real frustrated with, the heart doctor called yesterday. I cannot have some of the testing that he wants done because insurance won't pay for it. Now imagine that. We pay for the insurance, but they want to hunt and pick and decide what does and does not need to be done as if they have a medical license. I have been fighting I have to go back and get a CPAP because my oxygen level was, what was it? 80, it was in the 80%. I don't remember exactly what it was. But on and off throughout the night, it fell down into the 80% range somewhere. 85, 87, I honestly don't remember. And I said I wasn't going to go back. However, given this, Jeff needs to have a sleep study done. So I called and I talked to the people at the sleep lab and I explained what happened and what I was upset about. And that they were saying that I had to come back and go through some more, whatever it is they're going to do. Fit me for the CPAP or whatever. And I asked if Jeff could go with me, and then I advised them that Jeff was supposed to be getting a sleep study too. Could we both do ours at the same time? That way he's right there. And the supervisor said yes, that could be done. So I called my doctor, and she said, well, we sent Jeff's in January, so I called the sleep lab back. I have literally been going back and forth. The sleep lab finally called the doctor today and finally got the orders. However, now the lady that sets the appointments isn't available. She's been out sick all week. So whenever she comes back, we can be scheduled, but there's about 20 people ahead of us. So I feel like it's going to be a month or more because they have limited days they do these tests on. And we're going to need to have a day that he can take off work the next day. So, and leave early the day of the actual test in order to get there on time. So I kind of feel like, it's going to be June or July before we have any answers, any solutions to these problems. And I don't feel like things should be like this. I think that, maybe they need to step up their game. And I realize that a lot of people don't want to go back to work, and I don't blame them. I really don't. But there are lots of people that are looking for a job as well. And a lot of places don't want to hire those people for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I do know a lot of people that are sincerely looking for a job and no place wants to hire them. So, and then you have your other people that just don't want a job, or they get hired and they only last a couple days, which is really a waste of money for companies to hire and train, and then the people only work a couple days. So I know not every job is for every person, and sometimes you really don't know until you try the job. But I do feel like it's more than a hiring problem. It's I got the job and I want the paycheck, but I really don't want to work. And that's not fair to the people who are in there busting their butt like Jeff, when they have 2 or 3 slackers in the department that just do what they want to do and nothing is ever said to them. They're never punished, not fair. So in other news, I started working on some of those plants that I got from the guy in Huntington. The Dieffenbachia was in such hard soil. I should have wet it down. I didn't. It snapped off. So it did bring some roots with it. So I put it in a much smaller pot. I did dig around in the soil, and there was basically nothing there to salvage. So I took the big piece and I put it in a smaller pot, and it did have some roots. And I'm going to try to root it in and, get it down to a smaller pot. I also dug out the plumeria, and as I suspected, it was in way too big of a pot. It was in what appeared to be brown play sand, kids' play sand. And it was starting to rot, in my opinion. It didn't look real happy and real good. So I put it in a teeny tiny pot. I used a little bit of rooting hormone. And in some of my well-draining soil that my Hoya and other plants have been rooting really, really well in. And I put it up in the kitchen window where I can keep an eye on it. And we're going to see if we can't get that to root and start putting out some leaves. I think I'll be able to salvage it. And I do think the Dieffenbachia will be okay as well, I hope. Anyway, after all of that happened, I decided to just stop today. I'm feeling like maybe I'm feeling a little bit clumsy, a little bit tired today. And so maybe today wasn't really the day to start messing around with trying to re-root plants and, get to the bottom of what's going on. I am going to have a lot of really nice huge pots. And things like the sand I'm going to put in my compost pile. Because to be truthful, it'll be okay in there mixed in with everything else. And it will make some nice loose compost to use in different areas of the yard. So that's where the leftover soil out of all this is going to be going. Anyway, guys, please subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comments below. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.